When it comes to fitness and fat loss, men and women are equal, but they are not the same. In this video, you'll get the 5-step cheat code that all women can use to smash their health and fitness goals. Let's get started. Step 1, make sure you're playing the right game. How you gain the weight is going to affect how you will need to lose it. For example, if you are someone who has been overweight all your life, your approach is going to be different than someone who was initially at an ideal weight and then gained the weight later. Now stay with me because I'm going to explain to you how to approach both of these later in the video. The other game that you must understand is the weight loss game versus the fat loss game. Now this is really important because if you don't get this right, you can literally be on the weight loss and diet roller coaster for the rest of your life, and you and I are not having that. So let's get that clear. The weight loss game means that your goal is to literally get the number down on the scale. Now you can play that game if you have 20 or more pounds to lose, or if you are 20 pounds or more over your ideal body weight. Now, I'm going to use the standard body mass index for now, but honestly, the BMI does not work for athletic and muscular builds, but to keep things simple, we're going to use the BMI as a source of comparison for now. So again, if you are 20 pounds or more over your ideal body weight, you can be concerned with the number on the scale and getting that number down. But if you are 20 pounds or less over your ideal body weight, you are going to need to take the fat loss approach. When you take the fat loss approach, the number on the scale will not move as fast because what you're doing is something called repartitioning. Repartitioning meaning that you are increasing your lean muscle mass as you drop body fat. So the number on the scale is not going to move that fast. It may even go up, but don't worry. Remember, your source of comparison is not going to be the scale. It's going to be how you look in the mirror, how your clothes are fitting. And if you have a friend that's willing to be honest with you, get some feedback from them to let you know if you're getting leaner, tighter, and getting your sexy back. Step number 2, eat. You cannot be afraid to eat real clean food. Be afraid of cookies and bread and 500 calorie coffee drinks. Be afraid of those. But real lean, sexy muscle needs to be fed high quality fuel. So if you have reached a sticking point in your weight loss, meaning that you lost a certain amount and then all of a sudden you hit a plateau for 2 to 3 months, that probably means that you are now starving and need to refill your gas tank to then break through to your next level of weight loss and fat loss. So how do you refill your tank? I'm happy you asked, because that's step number 3. Refeed days. Now you may be asking, what are those? Well, refeed days are essentially vacations for your metabolism. Well, more like staycations, because every 6 to 8 weeks, you need to take a break from them to keep from burning out. So here's how refeeds work. Women are especially sensitive to restrictive and low calorie diets. And after about 6 to 8 weeks of being on these types of diets, the body in its infinite wisdom starts to down-regulate metabolism, meaning that the thyroid gland, which is the gland that regulates metabolism, starts to literally slow down, which means that the thyroid gland is no longer able to burn the same amount of calories that it did before the restrictive diet. The most effective solution to a down-regulated thyroid is to have a small period of increased calories, meaning that you're going to increase your calories from anywhere from 3 to 5 days. I think the research has shown that it takes about 5 days on average to get that thyroid gland back to normal levels, which means that your temperature can be affected. That's one of the gauges that we use to see if the thyroid is starting to go back. If you start to get moody, if you tend to start running cold, if you start to get more achy and your body just feels like it's more inflamed and you're retaining more water, those are all signs that your thyroid gland is probably needing a bit of a rest and you are due for a refeed. So it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days. All these things will depend on you as the individual and how fast your body rebounds back from a restrictive diet. Now, because of all these variables, a good idea might be to get a coach who is competent in guiding you through a process like this. You can self-monitor this yourself based on how you feel. If you feel better after a 3 to 4 day refeed, you may feel better after one, but again, you're gonna have to self-monitor, or you can hire a competent coach to guide you through it to make sure that you're not over refeeding and just being able to do it as efficiently as possible. Step number 4, lift, underarm jiggle, thigh wiggle, back fat. If you want to get rid of any of that, you have to do strength training. Think about athletes that have the best physiques in the world, like soccer, track and field, tennis. All of these athletes have amazing physiques, and that's because their sport requires a high level of fast twitch fibers. It's the fast twitch fibers that gives you that shapely, dense, lean, high metabolic activity muscle fibers. And you have to do strength training to develop those fibers. These are the fibers that help build bone density. These are the fibers that help your metabolism stay healthy for a lifetime. Remember that lean muscle mass has huge effects on your metabolism. It has to do with your hormones. It has effects on your immune system and all of those other things. So the more lean, healthy muscle mass that you have as a woman, it puts you in a position to be healthy now, but also from the rest of your life. Your likelihood of breaking a hip when you fall decreases when you have enough bricks in your back pocket. You got some meat on your booty, if you know what I mean. So strength training is huge. Do not be afraid of getting bulky. Remember, donuts make you bulky. Dumbbells do not make you bulky. Bulk has to do with your caloric intake and nutrition, which we've already covered. For women, you guys have 10% of the testosterone as men. And a healthy man can probably put on anywhere between 2 to 5 pounds of muscle in a year. And that's if they're working consistently at it. So you guys have to work 10 times as hard to get a quarter of the muscle that men can build. So don't worry about that. It's only going to take you in the direction that you want, which is to be lean and healthy and vibrant, which is the name of the game. 3 to 4 days of good quality strength training should be enough for increasing lean muscle mass. You can always do more depending on what your goals are and what type of training program that you're following. But on average, 3 to 4 days is completely fine. If I had to do a ratio in terms of giving you general guidelines, I will probably do 70% strength training and 30% cardio if I had to do a ratio. Even depending on how you're built, I would probably even do an 80% strength training, 20% cardio. And the type of cardio that you're doing, if you're going to combine your cardio with your strength training on the same session, I would do it after your strength training and for no longer than 20 minutes, all right? If you're doing your cardio on separate days as your strength training, you can do 30 to 40 minutes of steady state cardio, or you can do a maximum of 20 minutes of high intensity interval training or HIIT cardio. This is important for women especially. You can overdo cardio and it'll put you back into that metabolic deficit if you overdo it on the cardio. So trust me on this one. Focus on your strength training and watch the magic happen. And tip number 5, sleep. For women especially, sleep is the number one anti-aging activity that any woman can do. When women are sleep deprived, their cortisol levels shoot through the roof. And that's what causes wrinkles. That's what causes the saggy skin. That's what causes the loss of lean muscle mass. So if you are sleeping quality minutes, you're getting that 2 to 3 hours of restful REM sleep, you're going to be putting yourself in the best position to recover and to lose weight and avoid all of the thyroid downregulating events that I mentioned already in the refeed tip. The way that works is when your cortisol levels go up, the first tissue that gets attacked are your collagen fibers. And collagen is in your skin, it's in your your joints, it's in the lining of your gut. And because the skin mirrors the gut, they can almost be considered two sides of the same coin. Typically, if your skin is breaking out, your gut is compromised as well. And all of that is connected to a lack of sleep and high cortisol levels and high stress levels. So managing your cortisol through quality sleep is huge. The goal is to get anywhere between 2 to 4 hours of deep REM sleep. Remember, the whole time that you're sleeping, you're not in a full restorative sleep. So the less restorative sleep that you get, the longer you need to sleep in order to get there. So sleep quality plays a huge role in your ability to lower your cortisol and to get your metabolism recovered and to fully recharge your system so you can be healthy. So that is your 5-step weight loss cheat code. So let's review very quickly. Step 1, you got to know which game you're playing. Step 2 is you got to eat. Step 3, you have to refeed. Step 4, you got to lift. And finally, you must sleep. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this, go ahead and click the like button, and please subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.